I'm rooting for everybody black. I am betting on black tonight.
Lovely. You look great.
Welcome to Code Black Facts, where we talk about all things black to include news and viral videos, mental health, self-love, self-care, self-development, black women issues, crime stories, and black history. If you are interested in any of these topics, please subscribe to my channel, like, share, and don't forget to comment below. Thank you.
They say it's a black thing, run deep in the roots. Blacker the berry, baby, the sweeter the juice.
No, no.
Las dos muñecas lindas
No,
de
yo no puedo
Ori.
buscar las que están allí.
¿Y cuáles que están allí?
Las que yo tengo allí guardadas.
¿Y cuáles son esas? Estas son las de ella,
Espérate, yo le voy a
que se
buscar
parecen
una.
a ella.
Mire,
This is the doll that I got her.
mira la cara, mira cómo ella los cachetes, mira.
Ella no le gusta esa muñeca. No le gusta. No le gusta.
Que a ella sí le gusta.
Ten, Ori. Ori, ten. Ori. Ori. Ori, ten. Ori, your dolly.
Mira la misma cara de tu hija, mira los cachetes, mira. Esta es la...
¿Cuál es la misma cara?
Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in. So, I want to talk about this video. As you guys can see, this was a TikTok video that someone put up, and she's talking about Dominican moms be like, and she shows the video of her Dominican mother pushing away the dark skinned doll, and then the Dominican mom picking up the white, blonde haired doll and basically, putting it in the baby's face and playing with the baby with the doll. And so, what is being communicated to this baby is that whiteness is better. Okay. What's also being communicated to this baby is such a very tender age and such a very tender development stage is that, not only is whiteness better, not only should you play with whiteness, but blackness is not. Blackness is not good. You discard that. You don't play with that. You don't touch that. It means nothing. That's what is being communicated to this baby. Even though the baby can't talk and, the baby might not really understand what's going on, the baby still understands blackness is not good and whiteness is. And see, this is a problem. And even though this, is a Dominican family, this also holds true to American black people as well. I mean, we're not going to even get into the conversation of colorism because it's um, colorism conversations going on all up and down social media on any given day. And there are colorism channels as well. There are channels right here on YouTube that are dedicated to talking about colorism. And colorism is, in fact, a real issue within Black society, just overall, no matter whether it's Black here in America with Black Americans or if it's abroad in the Caribbean and in Africa. It is a problem, a major problem. It has been for forever. And enough conversations is not had about it. Now, I would say here in the States, I can't speak for other places, even though I've traveled abroad many different places all throughout the Caribbean. I've never been to Africa though. But, anyways, I can't speak for them, but I can speak for here. And the conversation about colorism is being had a lot, mostly by women. I do not hear Black men addressing colorism. There are no Black men who have channels that specifically address colorism as it relates to Black men. And that to me is also a problem because colorism is an issue for Black men. It's also an issue for Black women. Colorism, I would say, for Black women is a lot stronger than it is for Black men. See, when you are a tall, dark, and handsome Black man, it's like, okay, you tall, dark, and handsome. That's actually something that is praised. But when you are a dark-skinned woman, that's not something that's always praised. And we're not going to lie and we're not going to gaslight that, things are getting better and that things have changed. That's just not true. I see videos all the time of black women, dark-skinned black women sharing their experiences as it relate to their dark skin, as it relate to their features, as it relates to their hair textures, as it relates to their issues with black men and black men not liking. So we're not gonna gaslight, we're not gonna lie, we're just gonna tell the truth. We're just gonna be honest about what's going on. But back to this particular video, it's just really sad. And I think it starts here. This is why I named the video the deep roots of self-hate among black people. Because it truly does start as young as this baby and probably even younger. And, for this woman to be a grandmother, and see, this is another thing. I went through those comments on this TikTok, and the comments was riddled with other people from the Caribbean being honest about this stuff going on within their family. There are people that are being honest. There are also people, you know, um, who are not, Caribbean or from, somewhere in the Caribbeans. And they're also talking about their experiences with having darker skin as it relates to, those who are lighter skinned within their race group. And so I love that the people are being honest, but also what I did not see is where, people are holding their family members accountable because this is very dangerous. This is teaching this baby to literally grow up and not like herself, not like her skin tone, not like those who look like her skin tone, not like her hair texture. Okay? This white doll that you guys see does not have the same texture as the baby that you see. Okay? And so, you know, the symbolisms in this video is on 10. But the grandmother, looking the way that she does, look at the grandmother. The grandmother has what many would consider, very coarse hair, quote unquote, nappy hair, is what the grandmother would be considered to have. Which, by the way, is in my opinion the best hair. It takes a lot of work, but when you get old, okay, just look at these women when they get old. Look at the women with the long thin hair that's not curly. Look at that hair when they get older. They start thinning and then they go bald. And when you have thick, beautiful, luscious hair like myself, quote unquote nappy hair like myself, when we get older, baby, that hair be on point. It still be thick. I just can't help to notice that. That's one of the reasons why I say thicker hair is better because as you get older, especially if you wear the glued in tracks and stuff like that, where it pulls out your hair, it just thins it right on out. And so, in my opinion, I think thicker, more coarse hair is the best hair, even though society says the complete opposite. Straighter hair is better, is what society says. And a lot of that has to do with the beauty standards that have been set up. But that's a whole nother video. But going back to this video with this child, the mother is in the video. This is the mother that you guys see that's trying to hand the baby the doll. And she's not even correcting her mom. She's not correcting it. She's just letting it go on. And I looked on some of her other videos and she talked about, "Oh, well, I've had conversations with my mom." And it's like, girl, if you've have had conversations with your mother, my question would be, what type of conversations have you had? Because clearly you have not been, as thorough and as straightforward as you should be. And still be respectful, of course, because this is her mother. But if your mother is just disregarding what you're asking her to do with your child, then that's also a problem. That's a boundary problem, and that's a problem that needs to be nipped in the bud. Because if you can't trust your mother to, teach your children to not self-hate, teach your children to not put whiteness over their own blackness, then that's a problem. And if it was my mother, she would be not necessarily cut off, because I don't believe in cutting off family members, but we would not be speaking. Okay? My phone lines would still be open. Of course, my mother would still have access. I do not believe in cutting people off in my family. I think that, kind of doing a reset, not speaking, maybe putting them on hold or whatever, having a conversation. Hey, look, I can't get with you at this moment. Call me when, things are better. Like, I believe in that all the way, but I just don't believe in outright cutting people off. I just don't. That's just me. That's my opinion. But she needs to have a heart-to-heart conversation with her mother, because she's allowing this. This is going to harm this baby girl in the end. Now, I know I've been talking about the girls, the boys too. Okay. This brings me to my next point. Actually, before I get into the next video, let me say this. What do you guys think that is being taught to this baby as it relates to dating? Okay. Now, this is a child, so the child knows nothing about dating, but as the child grows up through their development, if whiteness is put on a pedestal and whiteness is better, then that means that dating her own group of men, or dating, black men in general, is going to be something that is shunned upon. Because again, when you put whiteness over your own blackness, you're teaching self-hate. And that ends up, showing up in different areas of a person's life. Not just in dating, not just in playing with dolls and toys, not just in, it shows up in different ways. It shows up in their appearance, you know, trying to look, as far from their original self, in terms of, like, their facial features and, hair textures and stuff like that, like getting as far away from that as possible. And again, that's something that it's just not good. It's really, really not. Also, whitewashing. Now, whitewashing is a real thing. There is a lot of interracial dating. And when I think of whitewashing, what I think of is that video where it was a group of people, all black men at the table with white women, and they are toasting to more mixed babies. That's what you call whitewashing. That's people who have a lot of self-hate, and they believe that if they get with non-black people, or people who look completely different than them, right, that they can wash out the things that they don't like about their blackness. So that could be skin tone, that could be hair texture, that could be features like your nose, that could be many other different things, and so that's a real thing. I know, like, when I think of, like, when you go back to, like, in the Latino, well, Dominican, I guess, yeah, that's like Afro Latino, whatever. But when you dig deep, a lot of times you'll find, you know, their great, great, great grandparents who had, some type of African heritage, who were dark skinned. But because of the whitewashing throughout the years, the whole, line of genetics have turned completely white, and you can't even tell that they had any blackness in their bloodline, any presence of African in their bloodline. That happens a lot. I know you see that a lot with Puerto Ricans as well. You see that a lot. You see very, very light skinned, almost white Puerto Ricans, and then you see very dark skinned ones as well. You see that with Dominicans as well, and a lot of other groups as well. So that's a thing too, the whitewashing. Now, I will say this: when it comes to like chastising this kind of stuff, I feel like when Black Americans, more specifically Black American women, talk about this a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. There are documentaries made about this. There are studies done on this. It has been talked about a lot, and so I don't see where, like, again, in this video, the mom of this baby, she's not chastising her mother. And when you go to the comment section of this video, nobody is talking about how they had to chastise or cut off their family members for this type of stuff. They talk about their experiences and how true this is, but they don't talk about, like, oh, well, I had to cut, this person off or this family member off, or, I had to distance myself because I didn't want them teaching my child that. So again, this is, if that's not happening, this is being perpetuated. So I think about the black doll test. It was a study done with a husband and wife psychologist, and it was actually very prevalent in the Brown versus Board of Education. It was a study that was used and very prevalent in that, um, because basically, well, let me just play. This is not the actual study that was done back then. This was, over the years, people have remade it. So this was like, um, a remake of it. So let me just play the video real quick.
The black doll. And which one is the white doll?
That one.
Which doll is the pretty doll? Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the nice doll? And which doll is the bad doll? And why is that doll pretty?
Because she's white and he has 2 eyes.
Okay.
Which doll is the ugly doll? Why is that doll ugly?
Because he's black.
Which doll looks most like you?
Like me.
Yeah, which one looks like you?
And that one.
Okay.
That doll.
All right. So, this is another video. Now, this was an actual study where they did, and they pretty much had some of the same results from the original one that was done. And this is the thing, you guys, like, what comes to my mind is that you can't leave it up to the school system, which is mostly made up of white women, okay, in the classrooms. The white men are the administrators, and they're sitting on the boards. And of course, on an individual basis, you do have schools that are very diverse, or schools that are black, or schools that are this, that, and the third. But overall, I think it's something like 80% of teachers in public school are white, or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but I know it's an overwhelming. And see, this is the thing: when you have black children going into classrooms and they are seeing little symbolisms that whiteness is better, right? That, oh, the white kids kind of get more attention, or that um the black child is seen as more aggressive when they play and things like that. Like, they can tell these parents did not teach their children this. Their children were socialized to believe this. When they're asking them which doll is the ugly doll, which doll is the bad doll, things like that, there are no black parents sitting down telling their kids that, because they're black, they're bad, or that because they're black, that they're ugly. This is something that has been socialized into them. They, when they go out into society and see how people treat black people in society at large, all of that communicates that to those children. So this is why I say that, as if you are a parent, a black parent in particular, even a white parent, it doesn't matter, whatever race you are, it doesn't even matter. you really need to teach your children about, these types of things, stereotypes, racism, things that are embedded deep into their consciousness, and it comes out in different ways. Now, lastly, I want to bring up this other video. Give me a second while I pull it up. I should have had it ready, but I totally forgot. So give me a second while I pull it up on YouTube. Excuse me, you guys. I should have had it ready. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies. Because I want to show you guys this other study, and because they had these statistics in this study, and they had white children also that were in this study as well. Let me type it in. I don't know why my computer's running slow. Okay, so let me come over here and let me share my screen. Share screen, window, this one. All right. Okay, so you guys can see it. So I think it was this one. Yes, it was this one.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to pick up use complicated editing software.
Sorry, you guys. I have to cut that commercial off, so I muted it. All right.
There are lots of different colors for skin.
I have questions for you about these pictures of different children.
After I read the question, I want you to point to the picture that fits the story.
Are children colorblind in America?
Show me the smart child.
Show me the mean child.
Can you show me the dumb child?
Show me the nice child.
Is bias measurable even at an early age?
Why is she the bad child?
Because she's black.
And why is he the ugly child?
Because he looks like he's white.
Why is he the dumb child?
Because he has dark brown skin.
Why is she the bad child?
Because she makes fun of everybody else's skin color.
How much do kids learn from what they see and hear from adults?
Show me the child who has the skin color most adults like.
And show me the child who has a skin color most adults don't like.
These are questions that we, along with CNN's Soledad O'Brien and a team of psychologists hired by CNN, spent months investigating through tests, interviews with children and their parents. But they're questions that have been asked for decades. The first doll study ignited controversy in the 1940s when psychologists Kenneth and Mamie Clark pioneered studies in the effects of segregation in schools by asking African American kids to choose between black and white dolls. The so-called doll test found black kids overwhelmingly preferred white over black. Those results were at the center of the landmark 1954 Supreme Court case, Brown versus the Board of Education, that desegregated American schools. Now, with the first African American president and nearly 60 years after segregation was overturned, we wondered, where are we today? How do kids see differences in race? What we discovered might shock you, but first, how we got there.
Skin color, child skin color estimate.
Okay, yeah.
We asked renowned child psychologist and University of Chicago researcher Dr. Margaret Beal Spencer to design a pilot study for CNN and analyze the results.
Our children are always near us, because we're a society. And what we put out there, kids report back. You ask the question, they'll give you the answer.
Spencer's team tested more than 130 kids in 8 schools with very different racial and economic demographics. Half of the schools were in the north, half in the south. Oh, nicely done. The country is much more diverse today than in the 1940s, the children in this project are from 2 age groups and 2 races, white and black, to better allow comparison to the original doll study. 4 and 5-year-old children were asked a series of questions about these images. 9 and 10-year-old children were asked questions about the same images, as well as this color bar chart. The test led us to 3 major findings. First, white children as a whole responded with a high rate of what researchers call white bias, identifying the color of their own skin with positive attributes and darker skin with negative attributes.
Show me the dumb child.
Dumb child.
Okay, why is she the dumb child?
Because she has black skin.
Show me the mean child. Why is he the mean child?
Because she's brown.
Show me the bad child. Why is he the bad child?
Because she is black.
Okay. Show me the ugly child. Why is he the ugly child?
Because she's brown, black.
Show me the child who has the skin color most adults like. And show me the child who has the skin color most adults don't like. Show me the child who has the skin color most children like. Show me the child who has the skin color most children don't like. Show me the child who has the skin color most girls want. Show me the child who has the skin color most girls don't want.
The questions that got overwhelmingly white biased answers:
Show me the dumb child.
about 76% of the younger white children pointed to the 2 darkest skin tones.
Show me the mean child.
About 66% of the younger white children pointed to the 2 darkest skin tones.
Show me the child who has the skin color most children don't like.
Again, about 66% of the younger white children pointed to the 2 darkest skin tones.
Show me the bad child.
More than 59% of the older white children pointed to the 2 darkest skin tones. But some white children did have more race-neutral responses.
So could you show me the good-looking child? So what are you thinking? I know you pointed to them all, but tell me what you're thinking.
I'm thinking that I do not care if they are black, white, mixed, or any kind of race. I think that it matters who they really are.
Okay, so it went on a commercial thing, and I don't want to hold you guys up. So you guys get the point. If you want to see it, just go to YouTube and type in the doll study, and it'll come right up. All right, so that's all I have for you guys. As you guys could see in that study that we just saw, what? Oh, did I? Okay, I thought I exited out. So as you guys could see, in that study that I just showed you guys, that was a more up-to-date study, and they included the white children. And again, like I said, a lot of this stuff is socialization. Some of it comes from your own family. But at the end of the day, I think we really need to take a really good look at what's going on and what we're teaching the children. I think personally, this is my own personal opinion. When it comes to teaching your children about racism and colorism, of course, it has to be age appropriate, but that is a must, you guys. I know some people are completely against it. They're like, "Oh, I don't want my kids to know about racism." Well, you honestly, if you're doing a disservice to your children if you do not, of course, age appropriate type of teaching them about race and the issues with race. You have to, but that's up to the parent. So that's your prerogative. But that's all I have, you guys. I just wanted to show you guys that video and kind of add a little bit of commentary. I hope you guys like the video. If you have any comments that you would like to make, just drop the comments in the comment section. I'll post the links that I used in this video, and that's all I have. And until next time, peace. Also, like the video and please comment. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. All right, that's all I have. Bye.
Day is a black thing, run deep in the roots. Blacker the berry, baby, the sweeter the juice. I'm trying to get lost, covered in all of your